Hey, so what did you? Were you shocked about the election results?
I wasn't that shocked.
We finally met somebody who called it. I knew somebody had to bet Trump.
I didn't bet Trump. I didn't want to bet Trump, but I did a tour. I was on tour in a lot of southern states for the month leading up to the election, and nothing but Trump signs.
All right.
I mean, that's all I saw.
It's kind of once you get
I didn't
out.
see a single Hillary sign. I saw hundreds of Trump signs, and I was like, this might be real.
I thought it was
like, holy shit.
Dude, never in a million years did I think. I thought Hillary was the made person at the end of the day.
I did too.
Everybody was going to be, yeah.
Until that tour.
You know what's funny? I did Conan the day after the election, and I got so many people like fucking yelling at me, thinking like, "How the fuck could you say this about Hillary? How the fuck could you say that about Trump? Like, you can't say anything about anybody." I try to evenly trash both of them and just say, "Hey, it'd be nice if people stopped yelling at each other." Somehow people missed all of that.
Yeah,
and they I think especially the Hillary people, because they're so disappointed that they just needed somebody. I got so much fucking shit from people, and actually, somebody just texted me going like, "Hey man, I saw you on that." I go, the guy was like, "It seemed like secretly you voted for Trump." And then he wrote, "Secretly." I was like,
you wrote secretly again?
Twice, yeah. And I was just like, yeah, like, no, I didn't vote for that guy. I didn't vote for either one of them. I couldn't stand them. I like Bernie. Bernie was my fucking guy.
I felt like right after the election, for the first time, I felt like Bernie would have won. I was like, people really wanted change they don't know how to get it, but that's what they want. And they kind of gave me
the same old with Hillary.
Yeah, and if I was like, holy shit, if Bernie had gotten the nomination, he would probably be the president right now.
People think Joe Biden could have won. I think just like I don't like familiarity breeds contempt. I mean, everybody's fucking filthy. There was just something about like, I felt myself saying it like when I saw Jeb Bush and I saw Clinton, I just can't deal with another Bush or a Clinton. Yeah. It's such a stupid thing to say, but I was just like,
no, it's true. There's some truth to it because I
want somebody else to lie to me now. Yeah. I didn't want this guy.
Yeah,
I didn't want this guy.
Right.
I'm not saying Bernie would have fucking solved everything, but I will say all this shit that Trump's doing is fucking hilarious. Where he's like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to drain the swamp. It's like, dude. Okay, let's just say you actually go in there and you somehow do this. How slow DC works. Like, you're going to fucking drain the swamp and then what? Expose all these people and then they're all going to go to jail? And and they're going to be okay with this?
Yeah, no.
I'm going to get all the illegal immigrants out of this country. You're going to do, how are you going to do that?
How are you going to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to build a fucking wall from here to fucking California to Texas. Really? You're going to do all of this?
I think there already is a wall, for one, isn't there? There's already a fence and a wall through a lot of it. But it's like, dude,
I think at roads,
you can't stop people from coming in by blocking off 3% of the border. It's like they're coming in any way they could come in.
Well, I thought he was going to build.
That's the whole basis of the country.
He wasn't.
So people get to come in from all over the fucking place.
Well, is how I actually think about that shit. It's like there does become the tipping point where you got too many fucking people.
Yeah,
there is that. I mean, back in the day, yeah, we needed all we could get. Because of what we were doing, which was underhanded.
That's when America was great back then.
We needed to take all these people. Yeah, get out there in the front lines. And then we'd stuck them out west. Hey, that's your land over there. Go over there and provoke them into an attack. Like, what the whole fucking thing was shady.
Yeah, from the beginning.
Yeah,
and the same goes for elections.
Well, you know what's crazy?
Government, they've been corrupt and fucked up since the beginning. Like,
I'm not going to say the show, but I recently did a show, right? And one of the comics went up, and this person went and just trashed Donald Trump. This is after the show.
After the election.
Or the show.
After the show. They went up after the show.
After the election, right? It was like 4 or 5 days after, whatever. They went up and went in hard on Trump, blah, blah, blah. He's a sex offender, and all this type of stuff. And gradually the crowd started booing.
Right.
Half the crowd fucking boos. So then the next person goes up, who is a Trump supporter. This person goes up and supports Trump and trashes Hillary. Then the other half
of the crowd
started booing them. I've never seen
so divided.
Dude, it's literally like it's like a great SEC football game where they play on like a neutral site, like when Florida plays Georgia, and like it's half fucking Bulldogs, half Gators. It's fucking insane. Like I've never.
It really is like that. The country's so completely divided that it's a little scary. But the thing that I don't like is that now whatever side you're on, where you're seeing the other side as your enemy. right? When we're not supposed to be enemies. We all live here together.
Oh, dude, that ship sailed, dude.
I know,
That
I know,
ship
but
sailed.
that's what I'm saying. That's what's shitty. It's
Once
totally
Fox
split.
News came in and balanced out CNN by being just as ridiculously far to the other side. I mean, those networks are hilarious. Like on election night, what I would do is I would just, whoever was winning, I would watch the other network just to watch them starting
Just
to
to
sweat.
see what they said, yeah.
Yeah, and just go, no, I just for the comedy of it, because I knew there was nothing, nothing. I mean, I voted for who I wanted to vote for. I knew this fucking state was going to go with Hillary Clinton. I mean, that's a given. The oceans vote for blue, and everybody else in the middle votes for red, and then it comes down to like fucking Ohio, Pennsylvania, and
Wisconsin.
evidently North Carolina, which I didn't know about that. But what I was happy was I actually was up to date on all the propositions and read them all. Me and my wife were reading them for like days in front of me, and like we're just laughing our ass off. Like you'd be sitting there like reading, they'd be like, do you not want them to drill for oil in the middle of your forehead? And then here's the argument for. And it'd be like, well, that would probably lead to your death. There is no oil in there, blah, 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 blah. And then it'd be like the argument gets, actually, it's the complete opposite. Drilling for oil would actually save this. And next thing you know, they go like, oh, maybe I should vote. Like, I didn't get anything out of those arguments. And then we were just laughing. You just eventually look at, well, who supported this? It'd be like, if it was anything environmentally, it's like Ed Bagley Jr. All right, that guy's been riding a bike for 30 years. Okay, if he's down with this, I'm going with Ed Bagley.
He's powered his whole neighborhood by running on a hamster wheel.
You know what's funny? Hey, do we know who, what happened with the condoms in porno? Did that pass or no?
No, it failed.
Nice.
Is that actually a thing?
Yes, keep porno, keep some jobs here in the Valley, right?
So no, they don't have to wear condoms in
No.
porno.
I think that was like a
Or they
big...
do.
They do, yeah.
They do, okay.
I thought it didn't pass.
Oh, this is classic Americans. We don't even know.
All right, I'll look it up.
We're going to look it up.
I thought it used to be that way. And now that they've taken
There was
it,
a
it's...
thing where they had to wear condoms, and then they were having a hard time. I think it was...
You could not be further off the mic, so you got to make a quick point here.
Okay. I think it didn't pass, so they don't have to wear condoms, but they can't get permits right now. They're having a really hard time getting permits.
Okay, so
Porno permits.
we're
huh?
saying that maybe it passed, but they can't get permits. Oh, Jesus Christ.
We only had two things to vote on other than offices. We had to vote on whether or not we wanted to allow casinos in northern Jersey.
And what'd you say?
I said no, and it didn't. It was no. It was overwhelming no. They're not going to be able to put casinos in northern Jersey, which is, in my opinion, very good.
Right.
I don't hate casinos,
Chris
or anything,
Christie's
but I
fat.
don't think they should be everywhere. Would you say Chris Christie is fat? Is that what
No,
you said?
and I coughed. He's fat enough. He doesn't mean to get that skim bag and going to Jersey Mike's even more.
And then the other one was like, should we designate the money from tolls and fuel tax into public transportation, which
Well,
is what
first
it was
question
meant
is-
to be for to begin with.
First question is, where's it going now?
Well, anywhere else, I don't know where. I really don't know where. But it was meant to be allocated toward that, a certain percentage of it initially, and then that got changed somewhere along the line. So we
Ours was like,
voted, changed it back.
was legalizing weed, keeping it legal or something like that. It was the condoms. It was like, should we repair? There was one about building up schools and everything where initially you're like, yeah, this is a good thing. And then the whole thing, the whole proposition was written by this group of people that are builders. And I'm,
Right.
wait a minute, I don't like that. The contractors
yeah.
are writing this shit up. So what's going on with this? There was
Wow, there's a lot of interesting shit on
Yeah, there was
bill out here.
yeah, no, I can't even remember. There was like at least another 12. There was
Wow.
so many.
And you have to vote on every one of them.
Yeah, but what was great was we figured out the best we could what it was, and God knows what is attached to all of that shit too.
Right,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. What el-
And
what else is
so I
in
had all my answers before I went in there. So what was taking everybody like a good 20 minutes if you were reading it for the first fucking time. I had them all, so I would just look at the page. Yes was up, no was down. I would just look at my answer sheet. And I'd be like, up, down, up. And I just fucking blew
Nice.
through it. I was great. Felt like I was cheating on a test. Well, before we get out of it, we got to get the answer here. What's going on?
It did not pass, yeah.
It did not pass.
Did not pass.
But they can't
so-
get their permits to make porno.
Tough time. They're making it tough.
Yeah, even that is
Who's
complicated.
behind? Who's the conservative behind that wants to get porno out of the valley? Did Tipper Gore move to the valley recently? Remember her, the
Yeah, it was
NPRC?
just like one guy that wrote it up, and if it passed, he would have a job for the rest of his life, basically making sure there were condoms in porn. So he was.
So one guy wrote at it?
One guy
That does
wrote
not sound real.
That's what.
So, like, I could do that?
Yeah.
He's the one guy who supplies the porn.
But
porno
it
business with
has to
condoms.
it's got to get through some sort of fucking legislative horseshit, right? To
Yeah.
then get put on the ballot. So he's got money.
Yeah.
All right. Because I was saying, then the guy who said the rent's too damn high would have got something done. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
In New York?
Rent's too damn high.
Rent is too damn high. I hated when, like, he kept getting laughs and kept hanging around, and then, like, one of those politicians was like, I agree with him. The rent is too darned high.
That's right.
I don't know how those politicians exist in that level
They're
of
like
phony.
cartoons. Yeah.
Yeah, Al Gore was one of the one of the worst I saw, and that was the thing I think about Trump that was amazing, was watching him just be himself, which a lot of people don't like who he was, but he was being a person. A lot of people don't think a good person, but like
He's candid. You can't accuse him of not being.
dude, it was like they were sitting at the table, but it was politicians, and he was the guy running the table, and no one could get him. I couldn't fuck him. They could not figure out.
They're like, this guy doesn't care about anything. How do we pin him down?
And he didn't give a shit about
Change what he says from 1 minute to the next.
He didn't care about the
and he
rules.
doesn't care.
He'd be like, oh, she's allowed to talk and I can't. Oh, great. 3 against 1. 3 against, let me look at that. 3 against 1. When he said that, it was fucking, because,
It's ridiculous.
but it was brilliant. Like what he did. I mean, I'm not happy that, certainly these fucking guys that he's putting together. I joked to my last podcast, he was talking about he's going to have change and everything. Now he's just going,
He's just doing the exact opposite.
yeah, it's like Fuller House. He's
Yeah.
just bringing back this old show. I was saying it was like the expendable version of the Expendables of Republicans. It's just,
Dude, it's the whole thing to him was just a game. It seems if you see him interviewed now, it's just like he's basically like, oh, I won, and that was it. It doesn't matter how.
you know
I
what's
just
weird?
won.
You know what's weird about this? Someone was,
And they're like, but you're doing all this stuff that you said you weren't going to do. And he's like, well, who else is going to do it? Basically, it's like Marx Brothers shit. Like, you can't just say who else is going to do it. That's not an answer. But he
it
doesn't
is.
give a shit. He's
But
like,
this is what I
that's as
found-
good an answer as you're getting. So fuck you.
But the thing about the media is they had no follow up because they never dealt with a guy like this who would just admit to
Typical follow up doesn't work because they call him out on it, and he just says, "Yeah, whatever, who cares?" And it says something else.
Well, the back in the day when they would call a politician out, they'd try to get out of it and they would stammer and then they would just keep, hitting them with it until just the whole embarrassment of the situation, the person would drop out. He just would admit to it, and they had nothing.
Yeah, and they're like, "Well,
When they said, "Oh,
this is supposed to be bad."
I keep using this as an example. They were like, you've said this about women, you've said that about women, you said this about women. He goes, no. He goes, I said that about Rosie O'Donnell. And it got a huge laugh. And then the female reporter goes like, no, you've said that about other women too. And he just goes, yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, but then it's over.
And then it was over.
Yeah, he made a joke.
And she couldn't even, or anybody in that panel couldn't have been like, you're probably right. So you're saying you are sexist. Is that what you're saying? Do you think that but I still think because of what the fuck he represented, he could have just been like, yes, I am sexist.
Yeah,
I can't believe you're not sitting here making me a pie or something. Now
Clearly.
get out of here and let the men handle it.
Clearly, people were not put off by that.
I don't know.
But it's so hard to tell what's true and what isn't. Anything you read about Hillary in the last 3 months or 5 months or whatever could have been taken out of context.
Absolutely.
And put in a way to make her, show her in a certain light. And same with Trump. It'd be silly to assume that one side's doing it and one side, the other is not.
No, they all are. Because
So
you know what amazes
it gets
me?
very difficult to tell what the fuck is real and what isn't,
You know what's
People
fucked
get
up?
their news from fucking Twitter.
Guilty.
You
Guilty
know?
as charged.
Me too, man.
Facebook. All of that. You know what killed
I'm
me?
real Ben
was
Bailey on Twitter, by the way.
Real Ben Bailey. The real Ben Bailey. BAILEY.com. TheRealBenBailey.com. I was actually amazed the election night when they had the pictures of each candidate and it was finally one that the other side hadn't picked. And I was just like, oh, look at Hillary. She looks like a nice person. Look at Donald. He looks like a cool guy.
Yeah, they look.
Because
they look
Donald
okay,
Donald was always like,
He always looked-
the scowl, and he had like the thing, like that Rudy Giuliani picture that the left is using, where he looks like he's roaring. He just came up from the flames of hell. That thing is fucking. You can do that to anybody.
Oh man,
Especially when you-
yeah, totally.
Yeah, when you're that old, it's such an effort just to speak. Your face is going to contort. And they just have to take a couple of pictures. You're going to look like Satan. And then Hillary always just had that crazy fucking smile and the bobblehead thing going.
And really unflattering light. Like she looked like,
Oh, dude, they did everything.
Skeletor.
They did everything they possibly could to both of them. Like Trump, like
Yeah.
his eyebrows by the end of the election were like beneath his eyes. It's like
the whole thing's a
Frankenstein.
joke. The fact that he actually has won points out a point that he made repeatedly through the campaign, which is that the whole system is fucked. It doesn't work right.
Yeah, but I will tell you, all those people that think that he's somehow going to get them out of their fucking hole, it's
ridiculous.
No, it's they don't give it. It's on you. It's on you, and they try to act like these people are going to save your fucking ass. They're not.
No,
They can't.
no.
And that's the uplifting message of this podcast.